Kayako Saeki was not always a ghost. She was once a quiet, troubled woman living in a modest Tokyo home with her husband, Takeo, and their young son, Toshio. Shy and reclusive, Kayako had always been misunderstood. As a child, she was marked by the strange rituals her mother performed, rituals that supposedly drew in spirits and trapped them. Though she grew up trying to escape this dark legacy, it lingered in her eyes, in her presence, and in the way others seemed uneasy around her. In adulthood, Kayako found little joy in her marriage. Takeo was cold, controlling, and jealous. Her only happiness came from raising Toshio and quietly admiring her son's kind schoolteacher, Shunsuke Kobayashi, a man who had once shown her warmth when no one else had. Kayako kept her feelings hidden in a private diary. But one day, Takeo discovered it. His jealousy turned to murderous rage. In a brutal attack, he slashed her body, broke her limbs, and crushed her neck. As she lay dying, her last thoughts were of Toshio. But Takeo didn't stop. He drowned their son in the bathtub and killed their pet cat, Mar. Then he vanished, only to fall victim to the curse he had unleashed. But Kayako's death did not bring peace. Her violent end, combined with a lifetime of sorrow and suppressed rage, gave birth to something far darker, a powerful Onryō, or vengeful spirit. Her broken form rose from death with jerking, unnatural movements. Her voice was lost, replaced by the sickening croak of her final breath, the now famous death rattle that chills anyone who hears it. Kayako is no longer human. Her soul, full of hatred and pain, haunts the Saeki home. She emerges from the shadows, from closets, attics, or even down the stairs, crawling with her long hair dragging behind her. Her presence is not confined to the house. The curse spreads like a disease. Anyone who enters or even comes into contact with someone who has it will be marked. Toshio, too, returned as a spirit, silent, pale, and ever-present. He follows Kayako everywhere. His faint meows, echoing the cat's cry, are often the first sign that the curse has found you. Though he was innocent in life, in death, he is a part of the horror that claims lives without mercy. Kayako does not seek revenge. She does not forgive. She does not choose her victims. She exists as a force of unstoppable doom, bound to her pain, feeding the curse, forever crawling from the shadows. You cannot run. You cannot plead. Once marked, you're already hers.